psychology students are like some little pests. This is a pest.
Hi guys, it's a girl, Traded Advisor, and today I want to tell you a really embarrassing story. You need to hear this.
That's the biggest embarrassment I ever faced in my entire life.
Finesse and I had to do it. My dog was like Shag and Scooby. Just might let your daddy chew it. How you get hit for no money? But say put your bag into it. Ay, I live my life on the run, like it's an action movie. Yeah.
Okay, so hi guys, it's your girl, Traded Advisor, and many people have been wondering what the real life is, like the untold truth about college and blah 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 and university. And today I want to reveal something that I was ashamed of and I kept to myself because I was ashamed. But now that I talk to a lot of people, some people say that it happened to them, so it's actually normal. But to be honest with you, I was so ashamed to talk about this story. So yeah, I must give you an insight of a day that my group members dropped the course on me. Okay, so we're in quarantine and I'm not planning to go over there and catch COVID, although I caught it already. I do believe that I have the antibody against it, but I'm not taking my chance because I didn't like the feeling of being sick. Anyways, yeah, so in case you're wondering why I keep talking about university and blah blah blah, it's that I'm showing off or anything. I just literally don't have anything to talk about, and I want to keep you guys company, you know. So who are preparing and want to know the insight and the reality, I'm just gonna tell you the honest, yeah, no redundancy. Okay, so in case you did not know, I study psychology and business, and a minor in social work. Honestly, I'm using what I learned in social work to grow my family. Like when I have my baby and stuff like that, I want to implement those stuff that I learned in social work because it's been a very good help for me. So I think that is something that I consider. Anyways, in college or university, there are different type of people, and people come to college with different goals. Yes, of course, you may study the same field of as many people, but in each field people have different goals. I would say that for the strict field, which is called nursing, majority of them say have the same goal, and is to be a nurse or something like that and so like that. But in psychology field and business, mine is really broad. So a lot of people like to put a lot of restriction on us, but I just think that it doesn't make sense to put restriction on us because it's a very broad field and we're liberals. And yeah, to make matter worse is that I chose a university that was very conservative to study a liberal subject. So you know, when you're learning something and then you make it applicable to your daily life, they have a problem with it. So it's another story. Yeah, so in university or in my department, we have people with different goals. Believe me, some people come to study whatever just to get a degree. So you have students, university students, who just come to school, university, because they just want a degree. They don't care if they haven't learned anything. They just want a degree. You know, a trophy or a souvenir or something. They just want a degree. Then you have some people that they like learning new things. So, you know, they come to university because they're just interested about this topic and they like to learn new things. They don't really want to be any of what is going on around them, but they just come there because, you know, they were curious and they want to learn something about this, and that's how they are. They have their little business already. Their family is rich and wealthy. They have their little things set apart for them, but they just come to university because they like learning new things and they just want to experience, they just want to learn something. Then you have people who come to university because they are serious about their work. Like, they want to be on the honor roll. They want to have the highest GPA in the school system. And you know, those perfectionists are those all-out people. Yeah, so you have the people who just come in there because they just want to, like, they don't care if they learned anything or whatever. They just want to make sure they're the top of the school. You have those people. And then you have some people that they just work part-time, and you know, by the time they reach a class, they're tired as hell and they just want the class to be over. So anything you say irritates them. And then you you have the people who like to ask questions, which is me. And you know, those people who actually plan their whole future and career before they step foot in a university, and they're serious about their career, and all they want to do is just come to school, learn as much as they can, and implement it into their daily life so that they can branch out and market themselves. Some of them plan to open their own business, which is me, and to open their own practice where, you know, a lot of things would affect you. Because, you know, when you actually work with people, the stuff that you do don't really affect you, you know, it affects everybody who works with you, or even worse, the organization. But when you're a person who plans to open up your own practice and stuff like that, you have to be literally in class trying to remember stuff, trying to implement stuff, trying to inquiry about stuff, because, you know, some people doesn't like self-development. They like to branch out, they like to stand out, they like to market themselves. So that's just me. So when I come to school, I like to ask questions. They may be stupid, you know, sometimes, but sometimes either I'm bored or I just want to clarify if this is the correct, this is the not the correct way, but the structured way of doing stuff. A majority of the things that I said in class are actually true, and I have experienced them myself. But the reason being is that there's no evidence or circulating evidence to back up this statement, so I may come off as null and void and probably crazy. Yeah, so sometimes I will get a little comments saying that, oh, why you wear this clothing, and it's really weird, you know, coming from psychology students. Like, I wonder what the hell they're planning to do with their degree, because if you're so close-minded and not open to anything, when your clients come into your whatever, come to see you, or when you meet people, the same treatment that you give me is the same thing that you're gonna give them. And hell, I don't want to be around you, so why these people gonna want to spend their money with you? Anyways, there are different type of psychology students. I think they have the conservative ones and a liberal. So I'm the liberal one. I like to be open, I like to talk to people, I like to meet new people, and that has just been me ever since I was a child. The reason being is because I have this unique personality trait, which is the INFJ-T. Anyways, so that's just me. I have the unique personality trait. I am 1% in the world, which probably more than that, but yeah, my personality trait is very unique, and I'm left-handed, so I operate with the creative side of me. I'm very creative. Anything with creativity, as you can see, that's just me. And that's just who I am as a person. And this is something that people don't really pick up when studying psychology, is that it is a really broad field. And you know, it's really sad that in my department, the people who are in charge like to just focus on psychology. But no, I can do a lot of stuff with my degree. I don't really need to be in such a strict career. But you know, there are psychologists for everything. There are some psychologists that devote their life to gay people. I mean, it's really saddening that I have to restrict my own personality just to be accepted by the society or population that I'm around, which it's really hard, because that's just me, and I'm in the right field because ever since I was a child, I've always liked to ask questions, and that's just my personality trait. I like to ask questions, and I hope to one day become a neuroscientist in my field. So in psychology, a lot of stuff is more like a subjective base. So grading is mostly subjective in terms that if you don't agree with what the lecturer says in an exam, you automatically get it wrong. And I do understand this is because there's not enough evidence. So once there's enough evidence circulating, then maybe the stuff that you're saying could be considered correct. So sometimes when you say things in your course, it's not that you're wrong, you know, it's just that there's not enough evidence. And that's the issue with studying psychology, is that the grading is subjective in a manner that once there's not enough evidence in what you're saying, it automatically goes wrong. But not only that, is that I believe that the learning system is outdated, because I'm reading a bunch of new articles that is coming out, and they're saying a different thing that is what is being taught in school. Mind you that growing up, we always heard that you're gonna have, so when you're practicing on your own and you're branching out and you're trying to market yourself, and for me, I don't really plan to deal with only clients. I plan to branch out and make researches and try to make myself useful around in the US and apply my evidence to society and try to implement something that will generate more marketing strategy. That's just me. So a lot of people come to school or university with different goals, and a lot of people don't really understand that, hey, each of us have our own unique goals, and what we do have nothing to do with you. We're just trying to get through and get all the stuff that we need. And okay, so enough of the rambling. Here's a story of when my group members dropped a course on me. Okay, so keep in mind that this may not be a legit thing, because that's what I've kind of concluded from then. So because I was saying that if you miss out on that big piece of assignment, automatically you will fail the course. So I'm assuming that they probably dropped the course, and basically when I came back to class, I never really saw them back to class. They never last the whole time with me, so I guess they all dropped the course. Okay, so here's the story. My embarrassment is over, and I think I should talk about this. So when I was in school, I had a hectic schedule, so hectic that it's normal for somebody to come into the group and say something. Those nosy those nosy people that always remind you about assignments. Those people who you dislike in high school, but what you don't know is that when you're at university, they are very handy. So it's natural for you to wait on somebody to say, oh, there's an assignment. You're not gonna really sit down and look and wait. You just know that somebody has to be in a group to remind you of an assignment. That's the protocol. It's starting to say that they were all relying on me to remind them of the assignment. So none of us never remember anything. Well, we knew about the assignment, we were preparing, but I had a hectic schedule, and like sometime I come to school, I will be hungry as hell. So yeah, so I remember texting in a group and said, guys, today's presentation, because we supposed to had that thing that you put up the charts and stuff like that, and you make yourself look nice and you talk and you speak. I don't remember what they call that, but we had that day. It was really embarrassing to the point, but I needed my grade. Like I didn't want to pay over for that course. I needed my grade, and I had a deadline to meet. I had to grade it on time. So is it I'll go up there, embarrass myself, or stay home and do over the course? And I plan to go up there and embarrass myself significantly, because that was the biggest embarrassment I've ever faced in my entire life. Yeah. So I remember coming to school, had statistics class, and the stupidest thing for me is that I chose all those calculated course during that period. So I couldn't miss a day in that class because they teach nothing over. So I would have to be multitasking. Like I would have to be prepping up on my charts, and I write ugly. People are write ugly on charts. Like I'm creative, but it's not an applicable creative like in writing, like those pretty things. Because as you can see, my rooms in my house, this is one of the rooms. I have 4 rooms in my house. It's usually in reality term for a girl, she always has her little things on the wall, teddies and stuff like that. As you can see, I have no decoration ability. So yeah, I write my little charts, and I was hoping that they could compromise and quickly flash something, because I was studying the night. Like I studied, because when you go to university, after a while you can read something and memorize it in, like you can just look at a paper and memorize it and then just come on and talk about it. I don't know, it just gives you that vibe. So I studied the night, and I came and I said, guys, I'm ready. When I came, I went to statistics class, and there was this girl. So there was five of us in the group, and there was this girl. I saw her. I said, okay, did you start on anything? Because we have to present today. She says that she has her baby, and she had to visit her baby. So she don't have no time for that. So okay. I text the other guy, he said he's not coming. I text the other guy, he said he's not coming. So I was left on my own to defend for myself, and those little pesty psychology students with their gaslighting techniques didn't make matters easier on me, because I put my little table there, and when I came back it was gone. Those little pests, those menace had moved the tables. The clouds were supposed to come, they didn't come, so it was straight embarrassment on me. So the psychology students didn't make it easy on me, because apparently they're intimidated by me or something. I don't know what's the issue. Like, I'm just being myself. Yeah, those little pests try their best to make me look bad on that day. Like, they made me look like I was the one that ran all my group members away. So I had a blank wall. I had a blank wall to present with, and my little charts to present with, and I present that day, And I said, sir, can I leave? The teacher said, keep it up, wicked man. But you know what I learned from that day is that I can do anything I set my mind to, and I don't really need anybody to be there for me. I can actually do things on my own. So that day I saw my exact unique potential that I have, that I was committed, and towards anything I still remain the homeostasis that is innate in me. Long story short, they came to school the next day and told everybody that I was a problem in the group. Keep in mind that I was being laid back and just implementing my plan, but all my plan they washed down the drain. I don't understand if they have much intelligence or whatever, because what they did was not to me but themselves. Like, y'all did it to yourself. Like, I got my grade, I made it up on the exam day because I studied really hard, because you know that the exam weighs 40% of the course. So whether they dropped it on me, my exam grade got that GP up. Like, I'm good like that.
Anyways, I've learned a lot
throughout my years. I learned that I'm so intimidating that all the school will try to get rid of me. I learned that there's something in me that people see, a great potential, and I realized that I have a bright future ahead. I learned all of that about me, and I think it's a compliment, being such a problem in the school, or being somebody that not people like, or the teachers are intimidated by, or the counselors are intimidated by, or whoever is in charge of the school is intimidated by. I learned that day I learned my full potential, that no matter who leads my life, I'll be able to stand tall, and I'll be able to pick up on whatever has been broken in me. I'll be able to do stuff on my own, and I'm so strong enough to go out there, and I learned a lot about me that day. And this has illustrated that I have some sort of strong homeostasis in me. So I don't know what's going on, but I believe that I have the full potential to become or branch out to where I want to go, being a neuroscientist and actually achieving my dream. It may take me forever due to what is going on here, but I'll be it someday, I'll be it someday. I may not be there on time. Well, I'll be, because what's there to be will surely be. So if it's meant to be for me, if my career path is meant to be for me, it's gonna be for me. So no matter how many things people want to do to get me to not graduate and not to achieve my dreams, it's not gonna work, because when the time comes, the time has just come. So yeah, I believe in time. So when the time comes for me to read somewhere, I'll reach there. Yeah, I had this set plan I had a set time a deadline to meet. Like, I set my goals, I set a deadline, but apparently I won't reach that deadline because I have a lot of obstacles in the way, and these obstacles are usually people. Like, I have some little pest in my way. But you know, whatever people do is to themselves, because yeah, it shows how like so sad people's life are to let people like me bother them. But yeah, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And no matter how long I take to get there, no matter how much time they try to mess up my grades, like give me a lesser grade than I deserve, because I know that some lecturers did that to me, so I want to call a name. But it doesn't matter if you want to give me a grade that I don't deserve. I want to let you know that it shows, and what you're doing, it doesn't benefit you. It shows, madam, it shows, sir, it shows. Okay, in case you're wondering what courses I took in school, I took all the hard sciences. I took biology, I took chemistry, I took physics, I took religious education, I took social studies, information technology. I'm really good from computers from my child, because when I was 10 years old, my mom bought me a laptop. So that's how I get all my techno things, the cracks, the cracks that I have, and how I get my softwares up in terms of stuff. Yeah, I'm a techno girl. I don't really show it, but yeah. I don't remember all my courses. I did economics. Maths is important. I did all the Englishes. I did a lot of courses that, not all of them that I did during my CXC period, but I was open to doing a lot of courses. I think I never did all of them based on finances, because you know, CXC is really expensive. But I did my courses, I got passing grades, I get good grades all through. To be honest with you, I mainly did, like, I took a lot of courses in high school because I was, mommy also sent me to yeah, my mom, she's an educational grounded woman. So when I was, when I was in grade 9, my mom used to send me to this place to study courses that were not offered in my school. Like, they were offered in my school, but I don't know what to explain. So when I was in grade 9, my mom used to send me to this school in the evening after class or on Saturdays to learn some courses that weren't taught in my school. So yeah, I did study business and all of something, but I learned some courses that were not taught in my school, or probably had been taught in my school, but I couldn't manage so much because of the little schedule that they give us. So yeah, when I was in grade 9, I used to do some courses of my campus in high school. But in case you're wondering, the CXCs that I actually did, I did a certain limited amount of CXC due to finances. Not really finance issue, but it doesn't make sense you do so many CXC, because at the end of the day, it's not really benefiting you, it's benefiting the school, it's making the school marketable. So yes, it is nice for you to have so many CXC subjects, and you know, you can have a different, right, you can actually do dual degrees if you want, but in reality, it doesn't make no sense you do so many damn CXC subjects, because at the end of the day, you're just marketing the school. And it is up, of course, everything you learn in life has use, but majority of the time it doesn't really it's not really important in universities. Like, it's important, you know, but you having so many CXC subjects and so many CAPE subjects, it is impressive, yes, but it's just a degree that actually counts in the end. Don't want to sound mean, but that's the truth. But yeah, so I did all of those courses. I went to other schools. I did courses that weren't offered at my school. My mom liked to have me explore and stuff like that. So yeah, I did all of that. But at the end of the day, I never did all the stuff that I took, because when I asked around, they said that it didn't make no sense. So I just did a limited amount of subjects during a period, at the same period. And then I just went to college. That was me. I didn't put physics on my application though. Like I didn't think that it was important, so I never put it on it. Like I was saying, now psychology don't need physics, but it's actually beneficial because it deal with logics. But yeah, I did physics when I was in high school. I could have gotten a distinction in all of them, but due to the emotional distress I was experiencing, I don't want to talk about it, but I had that the day when I was doing my exam was the most difficult time of my life, and I think I'm going to open about it one day when I feel better and brave enough to speak. But my CXC time was the most difficult in my life, and I think I should talk about it one day. Yeah. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe.